Hello, 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 hi, it is me, it is I. Small time Didi, your Heidi on these your internets. Akastaha and back. Hello, yella. Yella, I want to start doing this thing where instead of looking for like trending topics, we just talk about things I saved in my saved tabs across my social media. Basically, we're like consuming my For You page, or basically what the algorithm spit out to me that week. Things that like made me laugh, nothing too serious, right? Things that maybe are a bit serious that we want to talk about, but sometimes I'm just gonna share something cute that I saw, because I'm not gonna wait for trending topics. Sometimes like Mitali doesn't fuck anybody's man for like a month, and then there's really nothing to talk about that whole month and stuff until she does something with somebody's man, and it's like I can't keep waiting for that, essentially. So let's see what I saved in my tabs, starting with my Instagram. This week, Kimi Crowford. And I saved this with another creator as well. But let's take a look at what she had to say. If I can download it. If I can't download hers, I'll download from the other creator. But they're talking about why it is we unfollow people when they make announcements like getting engaged or having a baby and things like that. And then we'll go through some of the comments, and then I'll also give my own little take. So let's have a look at that.
I've seen a lot of people say, if you get pregnant, I'm unfollowing you. If you get engaged, I'm unfollowing you. We used to be a community. Like, what happened to us being able to share in each other's joy, share in sisterhood? And that's the point that I'm trying to make. We will often complain about not having community, not having real friendship. Why isn't anyone being like it was in Friends and Girlfriends and this and that? This is why, guys. This is why. It's not fun to be in community with a lot of you. And I think that we need to like take a hard look in the mirror and humble ourselves a little bit and just like really dig deep and find out why is that? Why do we always feel so combative and so negative towards other people's joy and progress throughout life?
Okay, let's go through some of the comments that I'm seeing here, because they sound a bit the same. Because Barkeman, Kim is asking as to like, weren't we a community and blah blah blah. Somebody makes just like a straight to the point thing here to say, because it's social media, it's not real life. Like it's not a community. You're not my friend. I think that's where the lie that you did build an online community, the lie that people are that invested in you, this is where it shows the strength of your community, and whether or not that parasocial bond is exactly that, or you are a consumable like anything else. And if they change the flavor of Fanta, I'm no longer copying that shit. I'm not here for that. That's what the girls are saying on here. The girls are saying, most of the comments, the community is not online. The real issue is caring what strangers online think. I care more about, girl, shut up. We're asking about this very particular thing here, okay? Here's somebody who feels this way. Misery loves company, my friend. They can't stand to be next to you in your joy. Open the door wide for them to walk out. Bye, hater, lol. Okay, somebody say, on the flip side, why support through difficult times so sparse? My circle has gotten extremely small because people cannot fathom certain people not performing or needing to recalibrate, and it's sad. I don't know if we're sticking to the subject, you guys. I can understand unfollowing a creator if you're solely there for a particular type of content that they're no longer or infrequently creating. Do with your timeline what you wish. However, this is not an airport. You do not need to announce your departure. I'd never say this to a creator, but I do unfollow immediately after a pregnancy announcement. That's because I follow people for XYZ content, and once they have a baby, it becomes the baby's Instagram. I don't know what many I don't need to know that many details about a baby I don't know. Whoa, babe. Y'all are so harsh. Are you guys like this in real life? I see nothing wrong with unfollowing an influencer whose platform is a business, who starts to have kids and turns her social media into a place centered on children, insurance products. I would never unfollow a friend whose life changed, but influencers are not friends. They are often posting because that is their business. And if you aren't in the market for baby clothes, you stop being their target market anyways. I agree with a lot of these people. You guys, I'm that person that like, I want my friends to send me baby pictures. I want to know what my friends' kids are doing. Yesterday, one of my friends was like on a long video call with me while shopping because we were trying to find a cute outfit for her daughter who was attending a birthday party. And I was choosing outfits. Like, I was choosing, and I know what she likes. I know what she likes. They live in Gauteng, guys. And I was like, no, like, I was like, no, I don't think that's her style. She's like, yeah, I also don't think this is her style. And she touched on the like, oh, that's the, I know what's going, they're my friends. Those are their kids. I know what's going on. I have to learn the lyrics to Ordinary because one of my friend's kids is obsessed. Like, he loves that song. He sings it. He wants to sing it with me when we video call and stuff. And we haven't video called in 2 weeks. His mom has to fix that immediately tomorrow. So we have to fix that. My friend just sent me like a video of her. She's walking. You see? Do you see? They're my friends. Okay? Those are my babies. Do you understand what is happening? So, yeah. But also, I'm one of the people watching Cynthia Guebu's new vlogs. I recorded a video talking about the return of Cynthia Guebu in particular. But really, and I didn't post it. I was gonna lose it. Guys, I do this sometimes. Hey, I record things and either I delete them making space accidentally because they look like another video I record if I recorded 2 videos that day. So I don't know. But yeah, I have to learn Ordinary, guys, because it is a cute little song. And he really knows it. But anyway, what was I saying? Because now I have the lyrics to Ordinary in my brain. That's what's happening. Yes, I'm watching Cynthia in the new part of her life because I also think I'm just at an age where it's making sense that my people are creating families. So seeing another person of similar age having created a family, there's nothing that removes me from their world. Or maybe I just have some real like affection for her and I really like that she's back. And I feel like, I know people are like, it's not hitting the same and stuff like that, but there is space for people who want to watch you grow your family and things like that. I sometimes find myself falling off. I don't fall off necessarily when people say they're pregnant. I'll stick around if I enjoyed your content until, and then watch how it evolves. It's not an immediate unfollow because you have a pregnancy announcement. It's not an immediate unfollow because you are engaged or getting married, because I don't know how you're going to slot it into. I always refer to Jackie as sort of like the one who's trying, who has found that balance to say, we see her man, sometimes we don't. We know that man is somewhere in the house doing, but it's like she's still giving. She went from a very normal kind of jump from beauty to still doing some beauty, but overall luxury lifestyle and stuff. And now there's a man, and I guess she's so major that maybe using her may not be the right example in this instance. But I'm not an immediate unfollow simply because you're saying that you're gonna have a child. Not immediate, no. I also love to see how people journey. I love to see how much people have changed and stuff. You will lose me almost immediately if you start with that shit when you come back on my feed talking about, I used to be like this, but now I'm dressing modestly. Unfollow immediately. Bye. We have nothing in common because I know the descent. Like, now you're going to start becoming like a Christian influencer, a shaming of how other women are dressing influencer, like type of thing. So and then you all of this so you can sell me maxi dresses or some shit, like I don't know. And I wear dresses plenty. You see how I dress. I don't, but like once you are for me, the change that makes me unfollow a person is them inching their way into a conservative space. And sometimes motherhood does that. It does. Sometimes motherhood and playing along with established structures that look like they work and they're feeding into you and you want to be complacent and not back up to stuff, you grow to be a little bit more conservative in your thinking, your approaches and things like that, and I will leave. But it's apparently not a community, and this is what lets us know that those parasocial bonds are not as strong as we think they are. If you go from selling me complexion products, like cream products, like foundations and concealers, telling me about that, and then now we just want to talk about diapers all the time. And I think you need to be okay with those people falling away, because this is now the thing that people who are in the space of life want to hear from you. Because trying to do more of the same thing simply because it worked kills you as a creative person. Being forced to replicate something because it's a thing that people are saying that it works, there's a death. Like there is, like I have a creative block, and I've been in this rut for as long as I can remember now. Like, well, let me not say that, that's so dramatic, but it's like people want the same stuff from me, such that even when I have time to work on other creative things, I can't. I don't know how to explain it, but I simply can't. And more of the same, and it's lucrative, right? That's why people want, you're scared, you don't want to lose the people. Those numbers matter when you're trying to get the brand deals and stuff like that. It is scary, but it does also feel a little bit manipulative. You know why people are dropping like flies, baby. People don't want to have kids. People don't care that you're going to start telling them about your little kitty content. Sia Bunny had a baby and everything. The other one that also had a baby and is married and stuff like Lerato Khamanyani, for all her MLMing up and down, because you know how I feel about that shit. Okay? For all of that. So the girls are working hard to find those balances and keep their private lives private. It's a choice. And I think both these people have maintained their audience, as in a local lens, have maintained an audience, and it is what it is. Vangai is the one that's like trying to branch more into the homemaking thing. That type of thing. I don't know if it's working out for her. I haven't engaged her content in a while, and I'm actually not sure if I ever followed her. I did used to watch her on YouTube though. Yeah, even in her bio, one guy's thing says lifestyle and all of that, living with heart, sharing with soul, clothes and home and stuff. So she's branched into that. Her feed looks beautiful, really does. She's still giving us a little bit of fashion and all of that, some home decor and stuff. I think it's a pretty transition. I really do think that. But that's it. I want to hear from you guys. Like, I really need this to be, I'm gonna do better. I've done terrible at catching up with comments with the past videos, because I've just been posting and like moving on and posting and moving on, because I've just, y'all don't need to hear about how I'm always in a rut. I'm also seeing on Radio 2000 that it was shared that women don't engage with hard news.
Bafaz, niyangizwa kodwa. I am talking to you this morning. Apparently, you are not interested in the news. You are not interested in current affairs. You are not interested in reading newspapers about politics, yada yada fish paste. Well, studies indicate that women often show lower engagement with traditional hard news due to structural inequalities, caretaking burdens, and also news is for men perceptions in media, and a preference for or better representation in soft news. So you are not interested in hard news. Every single top of the hour, I say, listen to Roseanne, listen to Mudupi, listen to Evelyn. When apparently you are not interested. Now, as of 2025, women are significantly more likely to avoid news, partly because only 26% of news subjects globally are women. The question I'm asking you this morning, Mfazi, are you interested in current affairs? Do you care about catching up on what is happening in and around our world? And if you don't, why aren't you interested in the news? And when I say the news, I'm talking about the economy, politics, you name it. All the issues that are affecting us in the country, or actually in the world. There's a whole war going on. Apparently, you're not interested. Call me right now, 086 000 2479, 086 000 2479. Is this study true that you are not interested in the news? You are not interested in current affairs. You are not interested in reading the newspaper. Hi man, let's talk. 086 000 2479. Why have you stopped listening to the news? Why have you stopped watching the news? Bafaz, call me.
Or at least through traditional media. Like, we don't want to hear the difficult stuff. I often talk about how I try to look away and all of that stuff, and they're wondering what the reasons behind it is. I think it's a couple of things. Sometimes it's always women being killed. It's always a domestic violence story that's gone viral, and it's women at like getting the worst end of the stick, and a lot of us just can't anymore. It's triggering. It's all of that stuff. But I actually do think that is the cute answer to give. There is that we're already wearing so much, like in everyday real lives, women are carrying a load. They're doing the mental load. They're doing the hard labor as well of managing things in the home, of managing their own lives, of trying to keep everything together. We barely have time to take care of ourselves. This is just what I think, right? We barely have time to take care of ourselves, so I'm not surprised we don't sit down and consume the news when we know the news is never really reporting on nothing cute, like fluffy pieces that have happened throughout the day. The third thing is that like men get to use watching the news and doing these things to perform like pseudo intellectualism. Like, it's a thing that men have done for a while, like while women are running around bathing kids, getting the kids ready for bed, they watch the news. It's so important. It's a way that they get to cosplay being intelligent and being connected and stuff by consuming work that other people have done and stuff. What? Okay. But then the other thing is there's been I feel, a concerted effort to convince women in all of that. And I left a comment on there saying it's all that rest in your femininity stuff, but it really is. Some of the things that feel like nothing, I just want to live soft. Some of these teachings, I want a man to take care of me. I want some of these things that lend themselves to ultimately the end goal is that this is the starting point of ultimately relinquishing all sense of like autonomy. Yeah. It starts off like, I just want a man to take care of me, and then it starts with this is the divine order of things, and it's so cute and it's so feminine, and that's the men stuff, and it's the men are natural born leader stuff. They're all in the same pot of stuff. That stuff I've also seen on the news where the girls are like, oh God, when my man is talking about the G what, or my man is talking about this Iran stuff. And no, we're not all going to be like political buffs. Like, we're not, right? But I can't even avoid the news. The TV at my house is on the news. And as much as I'm not like fully watching, I'll find clips online of actual like regular news broadcasters. I'll go on those pages and just get the bulletins quickly on like stations that I know are stations on TV and stuff. I will just consume a little bit of that so I know what's going on. For instance, today when we're coming back from supper, my mom's like, can we stop and pour petrol, because her and my sister have a trip tomorrow that they need to do. And my brother's driving. I'm like, where are you stopping? Where are we getting petrol? He was going to go to Sasol because it was closer. but the Total Garage is right across the road from there. I'm like, we don't have a points card for here. We have a points card from there, and this gas shit is about to get crazy, right? This fuel stuff is about to get out of hand. So let's go get some points and stuff. It's things like that. But it's like I really honestly feel like it has a lot to do with the teachings that we can, and this is why I get tired, and I think you guys have probably picked up in a few videos now that I'm tired of these girls trying to convince the girls that what they've been taught, what they've been conditioned is not the thing. It's really hard. Like, it's hard to always be like the Baba Yaga in life, boogie manning every fucking way, being the party pooper, being the whatever and stuff, because the girls don't want to hear it. The girls really do believe that they are the neck and somebody is the head and they are supposed to listen to what they men say. They're women who really will ask their husbands who they're voting for. Like, legit, I'm talking young people. Just assuming that the man knows better because he has a penis. Like, this person has a penis, therefore must know better. It's that shit. That's why you don't want to engage it. You are being programmed already to feel like you're not smart enough to engage in certain things. You're not smart enough to understand what's going on. And I think a lot of the things that intimidate us is things like not being the type of people who can remember dates, or the type of people who can remember things exactly how they unfolded, right? Like in 2001, this is what happened. So because you don't have the knowledge, it does not mean you can't go learn about it now. As a South African, you grew up understanding where our stance was, or you had an idea as to our stance around the Palestine issue, but you probably didn't have an in-depth knowledge. It's a choice. You're making a choice to not go and research and engage that shit so you get a better understanding from it. These are, you need to know these things so you can sit around certain tables with certain people and be able to engage with people and walk away from situations feeling like you're just, it's not even that somebody else is just so smart. They just spend time learning something, spend time wanting to engage with something. You are smart enough to understand. Most of it, there's really nothing to understand. Like, it's not maths. Do you understand? It's not like there's a formula. What you need to understand is that choices were made and men were at the forefront of making them, so those decisions were probably wrong. Like, once you grasp that, you're fine. Once you get a hold of that, none of it is going to intimidate you. But it is deliberate that they frame things the way that they frame them, such that it seems like we just can't get our heads around this. Okay. If I only had to worry about myself as well as most men have to, and I wasn't juggling the many thousand things that most women have to, including that man's needs and desires, preempting those needs and desires, working ahead to make sure those needs and desires, if my brain, think about what your brain is able to do and is expected to do and how much it does. There's no way you can't consume news. There's no way you can't understand what's happening in Iran. There are plenty of people doing the breakdowns, trying to explain to us, starting with that other war, that they started looking for nuclear, I fucking hate those people, looking for whatever, and where it is that we are right now and how it gets here. You just have to spend like 30 minutes of your day getting somebody who's doing a breakdown. Plenty of people who spend time with the stuff are doing the breakdowns for you to make it such that you can understand. Because the truth of the matter is, you don't really get to check out. I know I say I do it all the time, but you don't. When it's said and done, there's a trickle effect, and you need to know how these things are ultimately going to affect you, or may get to a point where they affect you, because again, global village, that's what we're dealing with here. So it's deliberate. It's to keep women, all of this rest in your femininity, a woman's place, blah, blah, blah. It's to keep you out of positions of power. It's to keep you from sitting at those tables and making the necessary changes that need to be made for us to find ourselves having built a better society. It's deliberate. And that's why we must fight against it with all our might. with all that we can, at every turn women need to push back against all of this. It's not a woman's place, you belong over here, these weird conservative wayward backward teachings, where we end up in these situations that people can be pedophiles allegedly, where we can have imagery of them doing all types of things to you, and they still get to hold offices of power. They get to still be, we are, oh my God, I want to say we've fallen from grace, but I'm a black woman, so this is really not a we thing. It's y'all. Let's see what else I saved, girl. There's none of us in those files. I don't see not one of us. I'm really trying to not get back on to being that person who's like proper on TikTok like that. Was I not saving shit? Was I just thinking I want to do the segment? Because this is something I would do. I would think, wouldn't this be a cute little segment? And then not save it. Oh, I saw a post by another young lady, and again, I don't think I saved it, but I'm gonna try to find it so I can stitch it, or at least put it here so you guys can see it. And this is after I had saved this thing of Kosatu TikTok, and they marched to where did they march to? It doesn't say, but I'll find it and I'll put it here. March to the Union Building. Sorry, it's in the caption of this thing. With frustrated young qualified unemployed doctors march to the union buildings in Pretoria and stuff. There's a girl who came out to make a point to say the biggest problem here with the doctors is wanting to exclude themselves from the actual crisis of unemployment of graduates all across and just youth, right? Skilled and trying to find their way or whatever. This need to try and separate yourself.
The risk of isolating yourself from the bigger struggle is that you lose public sympathy. You risk losing public sympathy, and you risk having less numbers and people not identifying with your movement, because the issue here is unemployment crisis in South Africa, and we've had a lot of conversations around unserious degrees, serious degrees, and people have been bashing people for this and that, and to see that people holding degrees that in societal standards are viewed of high regard, being unemployed, reflects the state of our economy, the state of our government, the state of our state. And it's very important that we hold our state accountable, and the only way we can do that is if we have a collective voice that has the same mandate. To the reality is that people are unemployed. The youth is unemployed. I'm unemployed. I have a qualification. I went to the best university in Africa. I'm still looking for a job. I'm entitled to a job, which you're valid. We are all valid but the state owes us a job. And as black people, the conversation around opening businesses. Guys, we black. Our history. With what money? With what background do you expect the average black graduate who's unemployed to open a business? It's important to make people identify with your movement so that you gain more attention, you gain more numbers, and then we can break it down. We can give percentages. We can give reason, because I've seen how detached our state leaders are. When they was telling us to submit our CVs the other day, Ramaphosa was on some continue applying. People. I saw even Fikile was speaking about useless degrees. And if we lose faith in the education system, we risk having people that are illiterate, and I don't think that's good for our economy or for our country. I don't think that's wise for society in general. So guys, I would really love to join the strike. Yes, I would really love to be part of any movement that is targeting holding the state accountable for the unemployed youth. 43.8% of the youth being unemployed, 12% of that being graduates, 90% of that percentage being black people. No.
This is the stuff, guys. This is the stuff where, and fine, it's not just black men stealing all this money and stuff that we're seeing at the commissions and stuff. But when you listen to that Tembisa looting situation, and you hear the state of the hospital, of the people who have to go to that hospital to seek assistance when they unwell or otherwise and stuff, and we go back to the short-sighted nature of men, and in this particular case, black men in general. By the way, I think all men are the same, right? I do. I really do. I think they're all the same. When I specifically say black men, it's not because I think white men are so wonderful. It's because Like Gideon Lebon, actually. Like why would I have no moral expectations of white men. None whatsoever. None. I don't know why I have them of black men still. I just feel like they're so short-sighted. I really feel like we are never gonna fix anything or get anything done because they are always undoing. Them and a fucking pick-me somewhere. But anyway, the girl says that them wanting to separate themselves from us is the... Oh my God, did I just put myself in there? I just remembered that I am and yo. So on. But yeah, I actually... I think it's true though, guys, but it's like, we see why it's happening, right? Like, people in STEM are like this though, right? And oh, she did make that point to say we're back to talking about useless qualifications and useful things. And it's not to say this is that and that is this. We're not about to downplay the importance and the need for somebody who can save a life versus this versus that. But it's like, can we be nuanced in our takes and understand that everything is contributing something, and society isn't made up of just sick people and those who heal them. That's simply not how it's made. It's not made up from that. So I've made a video here talking about so-called useless degrees. Like, I'm gonna have to go back to school and figure some shit out in terms of making myself a lot more employable, because I'm not right now, and that's what the fuck I need to be, because this other thing I was doing is not doing. Do you understand what I'm saying? But people in STEM do like to separate themselves from lowly qualifications, or those that they think of the hoes that aren't that smart and stuff. And that is why I don't always look at people who have certain qualifications and assume that they are socially smart. I never assume that of them. In fact, a lot of the times I need to just, it's not an assumption I automatically make. I always almost need to be around them and consume them, because like, hear their thinking process, hear where they're coming from, because a conservative person can still be a doctor. The same way they can tell you that they're not going to perform abortions because it's against their beliefs and stuff like that, while knowing the science of how, like, all of this shit works. Because the dissonance is that real, the cognitive... So it's one of those things where I'm like, STEM people tend to be like this. And we must start to call them out. It's like, yeah, and udile engineering. Okay. I did my little politics thing, and I'm still... What do you mean? Like, your contribution is your contribution, and it matters. But if you're going to move... I don't know how Kosatu got themselves wrapped up in this. Maybe they thought it's a worthy cause. We're going to be like, they studied for 7... Guys, we're proud of you, hey? I'm not downplaying your work, like the work that you put in. I'm not saying it's not important. I'm not saying we don't need you. I'm saying strength in numbers. Okay? That's what I'm saying here. And the hospitals are understaffed. My mom is retired. I don't think they've staffed from the period that she had to... Mommy! Yeah? My dear! How long did you hold that acting post?
6 years.
It was 6 years, ne?
Yes.
So school was a 6 years, and then
What's
others. Oh, ke opula wila so phale ntone le bomatswala ka.
Go tsene bo matsola go le mongwe go tsene bo matsola ka le mongwe go fitela mo ile go ta gore go tsena nna batho ka moka ba boela morago ba senya ke go actela yile
Namile wa itshwara alone for 6 years.
ka itshwara ya ne la nna ke itshwereng for 6 years.
And then what was there a pay to say you're an acting this?
Remuneration?
Yes.
No, my dear.
No, my dear.
I was told, you know. Are you recording?
Mommy, I am recording.
I was told I should not expect anything.
You're doing it from the bottom of your heart?
Yes.
For umphakathi.
For umphakathi, for umzansi. And then even if the post can be advertised, I should not expect anything. I should not expect any first preference.
And now o mongwe gape ba mo did the same thing.
Yes.
And she's the only advanced midwife in
Yes.
that ward, and she's doing paperwork
And patience.
and patience.
Because patient comes first. Our patience comes first.
And never ita ba nyaka paperwork ya bona.
Yes. Ever audit. Ba nyaka go khumana ka kwa molwetsi mo gonna ga botse, and then we maintain the paperwork.
Thank you, Mama. I was kicking a go. Did you see the strike? Yeah, the doctors. I don't know if I'm gonna keep this part with my mom and stuff, but anyway, the point is, as a lobbying, Kosatu knows better. They know about numbers, but I guess there is a pull in a conservative society like ours. STEM related work holds the weight that it holds, and we don't expect when people go out and study in certain fields that we think that work is guaranteed, right? It should be, right? The population is what it is. The hospitals are there and they are understaffed. My mom worked at the same hospital for 30 years, right? And she's had her advanced midwifery qualification for almost as long as I've been alive, I believe, give or take. And people leaning on people on her level, because the doctors aren't really there as well. I've explained a lot about the ward that she worked in because I would listen to her a lot complain and give a lot to her community and really try to do her best with like the little that she was working with. Had her in an acting post for 6 years that she wasn't being paid for and stuff. It's disgusting. It is completely disgusting. So I don't think anything is gonna happen here. I don't know. They're not going to be placed anywhere because then these are people who are looking to be employed by state, right? Yeah, they are. And this is the issue of not wanting to fix your country, of not having certain expectations because you think you're going to work hard and have medical aid and it's not going to become your problem. Leaving everything in the hands of private sector is opening yourself up for exploitation always. Because private healthcare is crazy. The price of private healthcare is crazy. Trust me on this. But anyway, I wonder what you guys think about that. It's something that sparked my interest as well. But we don't expect doctors to be without employment. We don't even expect teachers to be without employment and stuff. But I know a few. I know a vets graduate. My little sister's a vets graduate who is struggling to find work. I know somebody as well who is a turf graduate who recently got placed and stuff, but they struggled and they did the 4 years, right? You hearing now they have different criteria. By the way, let's fix this quickly while we're here. Yella, my battery died while I was trying to tell y'all something. And I am having some chamomile now, like a regular one, chamomile flower, not the one that I usually have because I'm out of that one, but this one tastes so good today. Oh, you guys, oh my god, today people were having wine at like our lunch sapaki thing. My brother and my sister were having wine. Kiduma yo, guys, that thing, yo, Kili Dimoni Bandla fire. Pray for a girl. Pray for a girl. Oh. My tears cooled down because I was trying to find the spot where I last left and I was trying to go through all of this and my tea's too cold now. Well, not cold, it's warm. But I think I was telling you guys about what I ran into that I want you guys to not run into. If you are starting your little BA now, whatever, in your humanities, go whatever. Basically, if you want to set yourself up to be able to do a postgraduate certificate in education, which is the thing that is lamuleling, or had in the past decade or so been the saving grace for people who studied whatever and they can't find work by, in that sector. Shout out to the humanities hands and stuff. So we were all running to do the PGCE, right? While doing that, I ran into this problem, and I want you to not run into it. If you started, you have a little sister who's starting, anybody around you, do share this with them. They have this criteria now, and it was kind of sort of always there, but they had avenue for you to bridge your way through and help you. But they're complaining that it's not producing quality teachers. Like, people essentially bridging their way into the teaching world by way of doing the certificate after doing their respective degrees. They are experiencing, I think it's laughable a little bit, not really, because I'm not disrespecting the 4-year degree, right? That is specifically for this. I'm not disrespecting that to say it's not a lot of work. I'm just saying, y'all are trying to switch to sight reading. You cannot talk about the quality of teachers when you're at every turn trying to sabotage the children. Okay, you're lying about this. You are. But they're saying it's not producing quality teachers because it's a shortcut, essentially. So they have this new thing where you have to have your teaching subject from first year through to your last year. I would say do English, like English Lit, from your first level and see it through to your last level, and have another teaching subject. So an economics in there, a social sciences in there, and mathematics, if that's something that is you can add to whatever it is that you're doing. What else? The social sciences, I think I already said that. What else do they have? Look up what they have right now, and hope that in 3 years when you finish, you can still go into those spaces and do the certificate and help yourself become essentially a little bit more marketable, a little bit more hireable, if you would like, because you don't know. I don't have that, right? Like, I have English, I think my first level or something. I have economics, my first and second level and stuff. I didn't see it through all the way to the end. And they had an opportunity for you to do just the last year module or whatever year module you didn't have to make it such that you had it, or 3 years. I know somebody who did it that way. This is like a few years ago now, right? They don't have that option anymore. If you want to do teaching, they're like, if you don't have teaching subjects holding you through the entire period of your degree, you now just have to re-register and start afresh and do a new degree from scratch, a teaching one, for 4 years. When I say I can't get out of bed, bitch, it's not just because my mom is good linen. Okay, bitch? Alright? I'm not okay. So don't be like me. But that's it. I don't know if I'm gonna find the video of that girl talking about that. But yeah, man, shout out to the STEM girls and boys. I know y'all work hard. I know the world promised you that you are definitely sorted. It really speaks to the state of things when the state hands can find their footing and stuff. We expect us to struggle and get accused of like selling booty and shit. It's expected, that a BA bitch is gonna go through that. But it is what it is, I'm sorry, Shout out to STEM. I do want more women in those fields that have traditionally been thought of as like male dominators for boys or girls, and understand this is so tricky, sir. It's not, y'all. Like, please. It is what it is. Let me go to my saved tab and see what else I wanted to talk about. Something fun. Hopefully nothing is serious. There's a girl. So, okay, this girl posted this, right? Let's have a look at this, and then we're gonna come and discuss, because somebody in the comments. Okay.
Bafaz is Sisenjeni Bafaz. Tell me why in the last 2 weeks there's been these accounts that keep popping up on my For You page, And it's ladies that are just like, what I wear as a plus size girl, okay, what I wear as a woman in her 30s, what I wear, what I've worn in the last year or so, whatever. And they're really cute outfits, and the ladies look cute. All to find out these are AI accounts. Bafazi. Bafazi.
In the comments, people mentioned Prudence. Let me tell you about Prudence. When Prudence showed up on my Instagram, I was like, you AI bitch. Immediately, I said that. And then Prudence showed up again. This time, Prudence is wearing a dress that I've been wanting from Shein. And because I really want that dress, and I've been trying to convince one of my friends that I really think this is such a cute dress. This is the thing. We saw somebody wearing this dress in real life when we were out to lunch. And this person's like boobs were spilling out. It wasn't a good fit on them, right? They're also younger. We take for granted the guidance, some of us, that we grow up with. Like, my mom is not about, like, bras sitting a certain way is not allowed, and we just take for granted things like that. Even hygiene, that somebody actually taught us those things, and some people didn't. But and we know her, okay? I'm not making this up. We know her. So when we saw her in that dress, but her boobs are much bigger than mine, right? My two girlfriends that I was with were like, nah, dog, you need to let go of the idea of wearing that dress. I don't think it's for people who have a rack like yours. Let it go. After I decided that Prudence is AI, when I saw Prudence wearing the dress that I wanted, I was like, no, Chimmy, look at this girl. All of a sudden, Prudence stopped being AI. I was like, look at this girl. She's wearing that dress I wanted, so I can sell my friends on it so they can okay me buying it. And they're like, no, girl, this dress is gorgeous. Like, it might actually work. Maybe she just got a small size, or her bra was wrong. But you take bras and things like that seriously. I think you're gonna figure it out. But every time I see her, I'm like, Prince is too shiny and everything is a little too perfect, and she's just the right amount of fat. And I'm not saying other women don't look like Prudence, but like, Prudence ke AI bana. Y'all, we're being duped, and it's getting realer and realer. And looking at Prudence, are these AIs being sponsored? And I don't mean, but like created by, is this the new marketing ploy by fast fashion brands to get us to come and buy more of these dresses? Because quite a few of what she's wearing, I've seen on Shein Curve. Like, I have. I'm one of those people who I don't like to talk a lot about shopping on Shein and stuff like that, because I understand too much of the politics around it. I feel horrible, but I'm still buying stuff. I try to minimize my buying there. But I find it like a little like South Africans in general don't have, maybe it's not just us. I mean, it's not just us buying there, but the way we talk about like Temu and Shein online, and we're so unashamed about our participation in this like situation where we know that the labor laws, what laws? Do you know what I mean though? Like, we're just always on the internet. We're the main ones talking about machine home, girl. They got the kids working at it's. Never mind. Mara Prudence nene. Kwa Shein. Oh, berekele Shein, baby girl. Must I show you the dress, man, that I wanted? And it's always fashion. Like, the AI is all, guys, once they nailed the fingers, once they managed to create an AI where the fingers look a little convincing, that's when I knew we were cooked, oh. Bamudia chabi saw bamofadi features anywhere, not a whore out of place. You never know what the fuck going on with Prudence her. Lena Babia stop nonsense momrawa Prude. Oh my god, she do work for Shein. They got us. They got me, bitch. Ride it down, ho. Ride it down. They got her. Yo, she's not real. The way she looks real. Oh my god, guys, her entire profile. I think it's because I know her from Insta. Talking about I know her. Girl, what? What you mean? I know her. You know her, girl. I know her. Okay, Didi. Like, I know her from Instagram, guys. So I didn't know, or I never bothered to read her thing before. Baby, she's a Shein AI. Yo. Yo, let me show you the dress I want anyway. Prudence. What a diva. You see, and a lot of people, but you know who else I've seen wearing this dress? That chubby girl from Durban. The one who said that she spoke about, not recently, but when burgundy was trending, she said that you hoes need to lay off that burgundy. Then y'all dragged her for a little bit. I think you're just wanting a moment to drag her since she says she doesn't want to be your plus size influencer. It's not for anything else. And I forget her name. That girl, gorgeous skin. Okay, I've seen her wearing this dress, and if I remember her name and I can find her account, I actually feel like Prudence is modeled after her. I do. I can't prove it, ne? I'm gonna put a video of her here wearing this dress. Yo, I can't download her videos. I'll check on her.
So hot in Durban. My headscarf is Joe Bouquet. This is probably 5 years old now. Watches from Watcherly. Stolen ring. Woolworths. Earrings are from the Fits. I keep getting questions. If I'm not buying my bras from Nima Shapewear, they're from Woolworths. That's it. Dresses from Shein, shoes are Shein. And my skin is from the Process. I'm currently using the Process product. And guys, yeah, Kotek.
On her Instagram, she posted a still. She convinced me before Prudence answered negative. That one? I was sold. That's a booty, bitch. Love it down. Okay, let's see what else. That was a cute little fun one that I enjoyed, where I was like, yo, Vandla, nobody's above the program. That I got your rahari, honey. I just so Piet lying, baby. He needs to lie down in jail. Anything else here? I did see that Nella Rose is opening up about having struggled with alcohol abuse after losing her parents within a short space of time. I did know that she lost her parents and stuff, but you know, she plunged deep into alcoholism. I saw a clip of it. I see that she posted something on YouTube. I haven't sat down to listen to that. I feel like it mirrors some of my experiences just from the clips that I heard. So that is interesting to go and listen to that. Should I? Has anybody watched? Should I go? Is there anything to talk about there? Is there conversation? I feel like this is one of those things where I keep trying to figure out a way to have a conversation with other people on camera, try to figure that out, try to figure out how to collaborate, but I shut down so much that actually seeing those plans through doesn't work. I always want, do you know what conversation I want to have, but I feel I need other people's contributions for, I'll mention the reasons now, but I really want us to talk about, especially as black girls, those of you who dated in your teen years, you had a little boyfriend in high school, things like that. I didn't, right? And that's why I feel like it's one of those times where I want a contributing voice. My friends, some of them had kids when we were very young, so their kids are pre-teen, teen. My niece, you know, around the same issues. I dealt with the same issues for a bit, but that curiosity when girls, especially because we're so protective of the girl sexuality and blah blah blah, because we don't want them getting pregnant, because it's their lives that get derailed and they get stuck with, you know, raising the baby while the boy goes on to do whatever. But so let me say, just like teenagers, right, that age when they become very curious about sex and stuff, rightfully so, it's like, what are the ways to go about handling that without doing the stuff that was done to some of you, some of us, where you were shamed about a natural thing that starts to happen to most, if not all, people around a certain point where that curiosity is piqued and you just want to experience this thing, you want to explore it. What are the safest way to do it? What are the ways to caution your child, like, I don't have the answers, and it's not something that I feel like I want to be like, I simply just don't have them. I feel like we're just here now. Like, some of my friends are raising preteens and teens. We're just here. They were like our little goobers, mas ning ning mo. Now we're just here, and we didn't have time. You know, it's almost like we didn't have time to stop and think, to say, when we get to this junk, what do we do? Like, my lens can't shift from seeing them as these little goobers. I'm just really not interested in shaming young girls about this. I don't want to be that auntie. I don't want to belong to that generation of like, just shaming them, and then but they still having to sit with those feelings. What are we expecting them to do with those feelings? Where are they supposed to go? You know, I want those conversations had. You know, I really do want those, but I don't know who to talk to about them. It's like, when we're talking about young girls, about, you know, mentorship and education, this and that, it's almost like we want to make like it's not there. It makes them feel crazy, or that something is wrong with them. You know, or for a girl like me, not dealing with boys was easy. I didn't like them. I found a lot of the boys to be stupid anyway. So the girl who is more interested, who's prone to be a bit more inclined, the wanting to know what's going on here, I remember watching them and thinking, what's wrong with them? Like, you know, why can't they just listen when the older people tell us that and blah blah? It's not how it works. They don't have that wiring, and it's not fair to keep pushing it up on them, because you just push them into a space where they're gonna go somewhere else to get these answers. And you think because you yelled at them, or you spanked them, or you punished them, you took their phone away, that you solved something. Trust me, solved nothing. Have confiscated a phone, okay? Used a laptop after. It's like, it doesn't, what, help. The parents are actually in trouble, and they need help, and they don't know who to tell, okay? Some of their parents don't want to tell anybody, because it's like, people are gonna look at my child like she's like a hoe, or whatever the issue is, or I can't share this because people are gonna think I don't know what I'm doing. You don't fucking know what you're doing. It's your first time doing it, and that's okay. But that's the conversation I want to have. I don't even know who to have it with. The person who got me this, I hope she's watching. And the stuff, I have opened it. I have. But I put my mugs back and stuff, because it's like, I don't want to break it. I used my bag today. Oh my god, it's so cute. How pretty is my bag? I want to get it like a, what do they call it? Like a bag to protect it. Like a silk one. Like, my mom will just make me one. Oh, I use a pillowcase. That will work just as well. Like a silk pillowcase and stuff. Because I did put all the stuffing in to hold the shape and stuff. I wore it to dinner today. Our mutual friend said that you're the person I need to have this conversation with. Believe it or not. Do you know why this conversation also came up for me? I don't know if you guys have seen me talk about like a girls foundation that I love to volunteer with and stuff, the B Square Girls Foundation. But they have a wonderful initiative where they are teaching, where they're trying to instill like academic as like a cool concept, and they like flagship sort of main event is a bilingual or multilingual. They added Zonga this year. Last year, September, sorry. But it was Sepedi and English. And they have like a group of girls that they mentor. And I was like, to one of them, I was like, the things that disturb girls from this environment are many, but one of them is that because there's nothing to do, the culture of umjolo is so embedded in the society. It's like, that's the thing to do. It's the thing to do because, one, it's all over, it's in your face, nobody sees anything the matter with it. Two, it's accessible, okay, in that it's free, okay. and it feels good. Those are lovely, good feelings that you're experiencing. They're exciting, man. Let's not look crazy here. So like, what is the balance? Because hygiene is another component of the foundation, right? They do the pad drives and all of that stuff to keep the girls going to school, because I feel like there was a time when we were serious as young women from certain environments, where we noticed this need of young girls and this gap of they don't have sanitary wear and blah blah blah, but the momentum kind of died. I do need you guys to plug back in a little bit. The need is dire, guys. Like, I've seen some, like when we have the events and stuff, I'm like, we're really still living in an age where some children are wearing their school shoes down to nothing, you know, because it's I feel like when you're so removed from something, you're just like, you start to think everybody know enough. You can't fathom that we're still existing in a South Africa where somebody's washing the same school shirt every day and putting it up on the line. You can't imagine things like that. So you must like reconnect with like these very much smaller organizations, grassroots things. Some of you, okay, who watch me on here, because I know some very smart, impressive people on here. I can smell it, okay? I can so smell it. Some of you are in charge of budgets there, okay, in the corporates, where you are having like, you know, social initiative things that you're supposed to pitch to the people. It's the grassroots programs that you need to be finding and funding and doing your outreach programs with them and stuff for all your social initiative investments and things like that that you do as companies. It's those people, the smaller ones that are still so grassroots, still are going to like the schools themselves, because the people of this foundation go to the schools, right? Because they have to prepare everybody to come and compete in the spelling bee, and you can tell they're hungry to be exposed to different things. They show up, the community shows up to come and support these girls. It's a girls foundation, right? But I think there might be the right people. Maybe they might know who I can talk to, and we're gonna have like a nice chill laid back conversations. I'll coerce into it somehow. I'll figure it out. But what do you guys think is the way? If you were a girl who was shamed a lot for being interested in boys and things like that, yeah, how'd you deal with that? There's a lot of shaming we do around that. I always know how to get too serious, and I really just wanted to be silly. Damn it. I promise I'm fun. I promise. No, but that's it, you guys. I really think like 3 stories. Because I'm long-winded, 3 stories is a cute thing. Then I'll share a couple of memes that really made me cackle at the end. And that'll be I'll find a little way to title this. Like, you know, let's see what's on my For You page or whatever. But yeah, that's about it. That's how we shut it down. Bye, yalla.
Okay, grade 6 and 7, honeybees, stand and engage. Grade 8 and 9, bumblebees, stand and engage. Grade 10 and 11, adrenal bees, stand and engage. Are we ready? Are we all on attention?